sir. Now for send it to my Facebook page here because guess what? When I try to go, alright, yeah, cause your YouTube have me out now. Alright, cool, yeah. Ramon. This now. Check 1 1 1 1 1. This alright. 1 1 1 1 1.
And the game has started in a lovely way thus far. Stephen Taylor, he's the not-out batsman. With him is Sadiq Bolt, who just joined him. He's only faced 2 balls so far. Bowler. Doing battle here is Stephen Taylor and Reynard Leveridge, the lanky fast bowler who made his name just last season. Leveridge to bowl to Bolt, and it's a short delivery, and Bolt had to get out of the way very quickly. That one had a lot of pace. The umpires today are Christopher Taylor, and with him Edsel Mitchell. Here's Leveridge to Bolt, and Bolt is forward. This one zeroed in at his midland leg stump. He had to come down very quickly on that one, away from the Courtney Walsh end to bowl to Bolt, who's turning this one into the onside, and the man at square leg comes across very quickly and sends a throw in. Bolt had to scamper, and he's finally off the mark, that being his 6th delivery. Here is Leveridge to bowl to Stephen Taylor, and Taylor is forward. That one, he had to come down very quickly on it. Excellent delivery by Leveridge. It came back at the left-hander, and it was zeroed in at the midland leg stump. He had to come down very quickly on it. A stifled appeal there by the fast bowler. A long leg and a deep backward square leg. This one is short and pulled away. He didn't make good contact, and the wicketkeeper had to hustle across to stop that one. Paul Watson, Damien Jacobs, Christopher Lamont. And there's a loud appeal for Corbian, and he's gone. I spoke about it earlier. Wicketkeeper Chin, is it? He has taken a delightful catch. That ball hit the glove. It was going high and away to his right, and the wicketkeeper, he leapt about 3 feet off the ground, and he took a stunning catch, one-handed, to his right. Now that is what real championships are made of. Excellent stuff by the wicketkeeper, and Leveridge has his first wicket. Here's Leveridge to bowl his first delivery to Javel Glenn, young Javel Glenn, who's forward, pushing this one back down the pitch, and he can't score. Full of confidence. So bowl to young Javel Glenn, and Glenn is forward. This one back of a length. Glenn was on the front foot, and he played it very well in the end. Javel Glenn. Here's Leveridge. Bowls to Glenn, and Glenn lets this one go by outside the off stump. Much better delivery there. You see a pattern. You see a pattern building up of his mark to bowl to Glenn. And again, this one is back of a length, and Glenn had to go on top of it. A very good delivery, an excellent over for Jamaica Defence Force. And at the end of it, it is 67 for the Melbourne at 67 for the loss of 4. And Reynard Leveridge, Made the wicket there for him. He is really bowled with some hostility here today. Here is Leveridge as he runs away to bowl to Glenn, and Glenn is struck on the pad, and it seemed as though there may have been some amount of inside edge. A better effort would have resulted in an opportunity. This one is short, and Glenn is back and turned this one to the man at point, who comes in very quickly in fields, and he can't score. Here is Leveridge to bowl to Glenn. This one is short, and Glenn ducked under it. It died before it got to the wicketkeeper. Will we see a signal? His name in Melbourne history. Here he is. Around the wicket is Leveridge, and this one is outside the off stump. He lets it go by. It is fumbled by the wicketkeeper. Goes down to the man at fine leg, and they go through for a bye. And it brings Siddiqui Bolt onto strike. Right arm over the wicket to bowl to Siddiqui Bolt. This one is short. It's in the air. Will he be out? The catch is taken. They go for the appeal, and he's out. Siddiqui Bolt is out caught at gully. A short delivery. He couldn't get out of the way, and he only succeeded in spooning the ball up, and the man at gully came in and took a very simple catch. And Melbourne, they're in tatters here. 68 for the loss of 5 wickets. Bolt doesn't seem happy with the decision, but he has to go. Fast bowlers. Here is Leveridge to bowl to Nepal, who's letting one go by outside the off stump. And that's the end of another successful over from the Jamaica Defence Force for 8 runs. Here is Leveridge to bowl to the left-handed Javel Glenn, who is forward and pushing this one into the offside. He thinks about a single, but it seems as though he's the only one who's interested in it. 12:30. Here is Leveridge to bowl to Glenn, who's turning this one down to the fine leg region. They go through, they scamper through for a single. Throw comes in to the wicket keeper, and the score now goes to 70 for the loss of 5 wickets. Don't see very much of that. This one short and down the leg side, and Leveridge seems disgusted with himself. The height, and this one is aimed in midland leg stump, and Paul Watson is forward, pushes it to the man under the bat to bowl to Watson. And Watson is edging this one through the vacant third slip region, and it goes down to the fence for 4. That delivery, it seemed as though it was back of a length. It seemed away from Nepal Watson. He followed it, but he played it with soft hands, got on top of the bounce, and steered it through the vacant third slip region. And that brings up a much-needed boundary for the Melbourne team. Here is Leveridge. And this one is short, and Nepal Watson was looking if that ball was in the air. Thankfully for him, it hit his shoulder and went straight to ground.